Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick here, dropping in on you. I hope everybody is closing out your work week on a good note. Some of you, like me, still have tomorrow to get some things done and to do some work. Tomorrow is always exciting. It's one of my mentoring days where I sit down with young brothers who are aspiring to do some things, and I uh, work with them, share with them, teach with them, mentor. And so that's in the late afternoon part of the day. I'm excited about that. Um, but what I want to do today is I want to talk to you about something that has really been impressed upon my heart. I wake up every morning, and the first thing that I do when I wake up is I thank God. I thank God for the opportunity to once again touch this world. I thank God for an opportunity to be an impression and expression of his power and force in this world. And it doesn't matter what I'm going through. The first thing out of my mouth every morning and has been for years is thank you. And that level of gratitude moves all of the darkness away so that I can see clearly. Because what I'm looking for when I wake up and I say thank you is a clear path. Now, I don't mean a path without obstacles. I mean a clear certainty of where I'm going. And so when I'm sitting there and I'm like, what do you have for me to give people today? And this is what hit me hard. I mean, it hit me so hard that it literally set me up. And I want to share this with you. And I really want you to hear me because there are some of you out there that are frustrated. There are some of you out there that are going through some hurt, some heartache, some disappointment. You are experiencing delay. You are dealing with things that you don't understand, and you are becoming uh emotionally, psychologically, financially, relationally frustrated. You maybe you're trying to start a business, maybe you're trying to work on a relationship, maybe you're trying to get your finances in order, whatever it is, and it doesn't seem like it's coming, and you're looking around you and everybody that you see seems to be doing better than you, and you're looking at them and you're sitting up and going, why can't I have that life? Why can't I? And you're sitting up. Let me tell you something. I want you there is a bigger vision and dream out there. There's a bigger dream waiting on you to step into it. There's a bigger, this is the message I have for you. If you don't hear anything else, hear this, that there's a bigger dream waiting on you to step into it. There's a bigger dream waiting on you to step into it. What does step into it mean? It means you got to walk into a space that you haven't visited before. It means that you're literally going to have to get out of where you're at in your thinking, in your emotions, in your expectations, and how you move. Let me tell you something. God, Hebrews tells us that the word of God and the spirit of God and another, that it literally searches the intents of the heart, the thoughts and intents of the heart. It's not just what you do, it's the intention. And the thing is, what are you intending? Let me tell you something. When you truly have a clear understanding of what's happening, the thing that you want is in front of you. The problem is, what are your intentions? What are your expectations? What are you intending to happen? You got to understand that whatever you're putting out is what's coming back. Now, you may not be putting out negativity towards anyone else, but you're putting out negativity in your expectations. You've become a person that's starting to anticipate the wrong thing happen. Matter of fact, some of you have gotten to a point where you are literally going out looking for what's wrong. Let me tell you something. Whatever you look for, you can find. There's no time in your life where everything in your life is going to be going right. The thing is, what are you going to look for? Are you going to look for what's going right, or are you going to go out and find what's wrong? The more you focus on the negative, let me tell you something. There's a study out, several, that shows that being positive doesn't have as big of an effect as not being negative. In other words, being an optimist is good. It has its benefits, but not being a pessimist is powerful. If you can just stay away from the pessimism, if you could just stay away from the darkness, if you could just stay away from, oh my God, what's going to happen today? Oh my God, what else can go wrong? Don't ask yourself what else can go wrong, because you're going to be looking for it and you'll find it. Let me tell you something. What you want is in front of you. What you are putting out is coming back to you. So then, if what you're putting out is what's coming back, don't you think you need to be clear and deliberate about what you're putting out? One of the things in my high performance journal, it's a high performance journal and planner. I deal with it every day, and it prompts me to ask myself questions that in the heat and the throw of the moment, I may not ask myself. And one of the things is, how can you be excellent? How can you reach a level of excellence today? How can you be at the top of your game? And the answer to that question every day is to be deliberate. Be clear and deliberate on what I put out. Be clear and deliberate on what I put out. What does that mean? I'm going to give positivity to the world. Even when I feel like the world may not be reciprocating it at that moment, I understand that I'm planting seeds. Sometimes I'm planting seeds with such great force and such great promise that the gestation period in the seed that I planted is not one that's going to bear immediate fruit. But when it does germinate and gestate and produce the fruit, what it produces will be powerful. See, sometimes we're looking for immediate gratification. We're looking for something. We want to circumvent the great movement of God in our lives because we need it now. And what we do is we start trying to work around the process. We start trying to work around the germination. Let me tell you something. You plant a rose bush. You plant the seeds for a rose bush. You plant the acorn, the seed for an oak tree. The rose bush is going to bloom before the oak tree starts to even think about coming up and becoming what it will be. But the rose bush will have died and withered away, and the oak tree will be there hundreds of years later, providing shelter and shade and promise and a reminder of what patience produces. You got to be careful that you're not trying to rush a seed that has greater promise but needs more time to germinate. You have to understand that there's something going on, but you got to have an intentional force. It's not just what you do. God searches the thoughts and intents of the heart. It's not what you do, it's the intent behind it. That's why you get two people doing the same thing and one gets a different result. What are your intentions? Make sure your intentions are pure. Make sure your intent. See, sometimes you have good intentions, but you don't get it done right, or you don't do it the way you should have done it. But God is looking at that. God's saying, what were you trying to do? Isn't that awesome that as long as I'm out here and I'm doing my best and I'm trying, the one that is not keeping score on my failures is God. God says, get up, dust yourself off, go back out there. I see what you're trying to do. Come to me. Let me give you a clearer vision. Let me give you better revelation. Spend more time with me before you go out in the morning so that you do better. But God, everybody else is judging you. Everybody else is hoping. You look around, there's so many people that have been trained to wish for your demise because they don't see any promise for themselves. Don't get caught up in that. Let me tell you something else that God put on my heart today. Stop looking at what other people are doing. Stop observing the lives of other people and setting your mind based on what they're doing. Let me tell you something. There's no celebration. There's no greatness to be had in someone else's life. You're not supposed to be in their territory. You're not supposed to be attempting to assume what they are doing, what they are. You have a promise in your gift. You have a promise in your gift that is exclusive to your purpose and exclusive to you. You can literally dominate when you're in your territory. The problem is so many people are outside of their territory, living and operating in someone else's space, trying to do what they're doing, trying to copy and emulate what they're doing. And you're not walking in your own purpose. You're not living in your own space. What are you doing? You're trying to be what they are. You're trying to do it the way they're doing. You're trying to have what they have. And God may have something greater for you, but you don't know because you're not walking into the vision. You're not walking into the dream. You're not walking into the force of your promise. You are not walking into what was meant for you. There are some of you out there right now. Inside, you know there's something better, but you don't know what it is. You don't know how to get to it. And so you're frustrated. Don't be frustrated. Stop letting the throes of the world impress itself upon you. Stop letting the desires of having what others have. There's nothing wrong with having desires to have whatever. Anything good should not be withheld from you, but you got to be moving in your space, because in your space, your gift is made to make room for you. In your space, your gift is made to facilitate power. In your space, your gift is made to sit up and set the world on fire. When you're walking in your space, the problem is you are all over the place because you don't know what it is you want to do or what it is you should be doing, and you're just floundering around. It's time to get a clear focus. When I sit up and I think about the things that I've gone through and the things that I've had to push through over the course of my life. I mean, I could go down and I could have all kind of complaints if that's what I wanted to do. I could talk about having a 15-year-old mother that couldn't be maternal. I can talk about having a father that I never met. I could talk about growing up in poverty. I could talk about so many other things that happened. I could talk about all of these things that people use as reasons and excuses not to be invested in themselves at a level that explodes into the world, nothing but positivity. But you know what? I thank God because it was preparing me. And when I think about what I had to do to get here, to be able to talk to you, to be able to move, to be able to celebrate being a featured expert on a podcast for the OWN network. Let me tell you something. That was the exciting news that I had this year, and I almost passed on it out of pride. And I thank God I didn't, because now it has given me another space and platform to help people heal. So I'm really thankful about that. But then this one verse just keeps hitting me every time I think about what I've been through. And people ask me, how did you get through? And the thing was, when I really think about it, I wasn't fighting to get through something. I was trusting God to get me through. What was I fighting? I was pressing towards the mark of the higher prize, of the higher calling. I was pressing towards the mark of the higher calling. I was pressing towards the mark of a higher calling. I was rising and moving towards something greater, pressing towards the mark for the prize of a higher calling, pressing towards the mark for the prize of I can't tell you what it means when I look back and I said, it was me pressing. It was me pushing. It was me refusing to be held back, refusing to listen to the assessments and opinions of other people about who I was. I want you to search yourself. I want you to understand that there is a position of greatness in this world. God is exceptional. God is phenomenal. God is extraordinary. God did not design anyone for mediocrity. God did not design anyone to be average. God did not design you to meander through the maze of mediocrity, to sit up and wonder and move around and struggle and suffer and be under the foot of other people. God designed you to rise and shine and be an expression of his power. And if you're not doing it, it's because you haven't searched yourself and you haven't walked into that vision that he gave you, into that dream. I'm not talking about dreams in the sense of fantasy. I'm talking about dreams in the sense of revelation that he's given. It tells us that he will give you dreams. He will give you revelations that you will sit up and see. There's something inside of you that you need to search out. If you are really, truly looking to make a change, the answers are there. I'm willing to be a part of that. There's a dream, a bigger vision waiting on you to step into it. You might not have the clarity. You might not understand it. I want to sit down with you and talk with you. And in order to facilitate that, I am offering my breakthrough session, which is $350 for half price. And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to gift you a second session absolutely free. so that we can sit down and we can talk about where you're at, what you're going through, why you're going through it, what you can do about it, how close you are to the breakthrough. Sometimes you're right there, but you just can't see it, so you don't know to fight, to push. You talk about the clarity of the vision, because some of us have been so inundated with negative images, negative experiences, that we don't know how to move back and decipher and interpret what's really in front of us. It's time for clarity. We need to be clear and deliberate about what we're putting out. I want to help you with that. So again, if you're serious about really truly doing something exceptional, starting a business, getting your finances in order, moving and working with children, moving and working with people who are surviving something catastrophic in their life. There are places where God's presence needs to be felt, and it will make room for you. There are services that you can offer that people will really truly love and pay you for, that will open up doors for you to do even greater things. This thing that everybody's so afraid of, this recession, this is a place for the people who understand the vision to actually advance. This is a place where God isn't shaken by the recession, and your gifting and your calling isn't disqualified by the recession. This is the time that you walk out and you start to live, and you start to find that there's nothing that can shut you down when you're operating in your territory. The problem is, most of us are not operating in our territory. We're trying to find spaces where we're accepted. We're trying to find spaces where people are approval, giving us their approval. We're trying to find spaces that somebody else is operating in because we like and see what they're doing. We aren't ready to build and invest and grow and expand our territory. And that's a problem. I'm telling you right now, if you're serious, come see me. This is the thing that I literally love doing, is helping people pull back the veil. That person that's doing XYZ that you look at and you're at such awe of isn't better than you. They aren't greater than you. They don't have some special gift that God bestowed upon them that he withheld from anyone else. They're simply walking in territory where they staked their flag and they're using their gift. I'm challenging you to walk into it. I'm going to get off. I hope that there's something in what I shared with you that will ignite a passion and a fire that causes you to lean into your own design, lean into your own gifting, lean into your own purpose, walk in the presence of God and trust. You know what gets me through in my darkest moments? The promise that he will never leave nor forsake me. Everything that says anything other than that is an illusion. I don't even give it attention. I'm too busy being grateful because he'll never leave nor forsake me. There's something on the inside of you that you need to tap into. There's something on the inside of you that you need to unleash. The world needs you to unleash your gift. The world needs you to unleash your calling. The world needs you to unleash your purpose. Things are falling apart. It seems like everything that we used to hold dear is going awry. It's because not enough of us are unleashing our purpose. Not enough of us are walking in our calling. Not enough of us are holding the line. We need you to make a difference. On that note, look, I'm out of here. As I always say, I live my life on full. And when I leave this place, I'm going to die on E. I'm not leaving any potential untapped. I challenge you to do the same. On that note, I'm out of here. Every one of you have an unbelievable day and an awesome weekend, and I hope to be hearing from some of you. I'm out.